Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will be crocheting it forward in this video by showing you my llama pattern, or also applique. It's very easy. It's very similar to my giraffe pattern and I think you're going to like it. So let's get started. So the three main colors you're going to need are your skin color, and then the mouth color, and then also your eye color, well, your lashes and your feet. Okay, those three are going to be consistent. The saddle part as well as the fringes, you can really pick any colors that you want, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors on those, but you will need three main colors. You also need some stick pins. Those are optional. You will need a sewing needle with a large hole, and for this particular llama, I'm going to use a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, but believe it or not, for this one I used a 5.0 H hook, but I used red heart yarn. On this one I used a smaller hook, but ended up with a bigger llama because I used Karen, which is a thicker worsted weight. So just want to keep you up on that. You're going to need some scissors, and then also a smaller, very smaller hook. Wouldn't hurt to be on standby. All right, everybody, you'll want to grab your, what we got here, 4.5 millimeter crochet hook and your yarn that you're going to choose for the body to get started. I have this cream here. We're going to start with a slip knot. We are going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now what we're going to do is work in the back bump. I know in my previous videos I was saying back loop, and then I would say back bump. It's actually the back bump. These little things right here. What we're going to do is just go ahead and insert our hook. You want to turn your chain upside down to get that visible to you, and then just make a single crochet. So we're going to single crochet all the way back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oops. You might want to loosen up your tension on the chain row. I don't think I did, and that's why the bumps are a little. 14, 15. Okay, so this is our first row back of single crochet. We're going to lift our hook up, go in from the side, and in that same stitch right here we're going to make our single crochets. So this is row 2, and we will need 10 rows. So remember, you'll want to lift your, do that again, lift your hook up, your loop up, turn it from the side, and then insert your hook from the side. This is going to make a very easy, a very crisp and even side. And then that same stitch we're going to go ahead and make single crochet. So this is row 2, and we need to do 10 rows. So go ahead and make 10 single crochet rows, and I will meet you back. Okay, after you get your 10 rows of 15 single crochets, we're going to go ahead and pull up our loop like we did and insert it from the side, and then single crochet in the first 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what we want to do this, we're going to lift our hook loop, turn our work, insert our hoop from the side, or insert our hook in the loop from the side, and then make 6 across. This is row 2 of the neck. 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're going through both of those loops on that last one. It's easy to just go through one and then your work will not look right. So I have 2 done, and we're going to do 14 more. So go ahead and do 14 more rows for a total of 16 rows of 6 single crochets, and I will meet you back. Alright, once you have finished your 16th row, you should have the body facing to your right. We're going to flip our work this way, okay, and then we're going to make another single crochet in that last stitch. Be sure you're going through both loops, and then we're going to single crochet 8 for 5 rows. So that's 1, and do the best you can, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to pull up our loop like we've been doing, and we're just going to do this throughout the whole pattern, so I don't have to keep saying that. And then we are going to go back into that same stitch and make 8 single crochet across. So we've done row 1 for 4 more rows, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I just finished up my 5th stitch, and I'm going to chain 1, or my 5th row, I'm sorry, 6th row. No, 5th row. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong direction here. So I'm going to fasten off for now, but I'm not going to do anything because I'm going to pick this back up to do the legs. I just want to finish the head area. Now what you want to do is grab the color that you're going to use for your mouth and get a slip knot. Okay. We want to go ahead in that first stitch over here to your right and slip stitch. And now what we're going to do is make 8 single crochets across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to pull up our loop, turn our work. It's just better if this just goes on the ground here. Go on the side like we've been doing. And now we're just going to decrease until we get to 1 by 2. So we're going to, and that's just pulling up our loop. Don't finish it. Go in your next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and go through all of them. That's 1. We're going to keep doing that. 1, 2. We got 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 stitches. 1, 2. Yarn over, pull through all of them, and then the last 2 for a total of 4 stitches, 4 single crochets or 4 decreases. 1. See those 3 loops? We're going to yarn over and pull through. Again, turn our work, set our hook, and we're going to do the same thing. So we have 4 stitches here. We should have 2. 1, 2. Pull through all of them. 1, 2. Pull through all of them. I think that's where we're going to just stop. So we're going to yarn over, through. I'm going to sew in my ends as I go because they drive me crazy. When we come back, we'll be ready to do his feet. We're going to put our llama upside down and then do the feet that way. So I will meet you back. Okay, so I've weaved in my ends and I got the llama upside down. We are going to do the legs. I'm just getting a slip knot right now. And what we're going to do is single crochet 7 across. We're going to leave 1, and then we're going to do 7 for the 2 back legs. The 2 front legs are going to take 7. Remember, we have 15 single crochets on the body. So I've already got my slip knot, and I'm just going to go into that first stitch and then just slip stitch to join, and then go right back in there, that same stitch, and make a single crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This might be a little tedious because remember, this is the chain. 6. I should have did my tension a little bit looser. 7. Okay, so we're going to do that for a total of 7 rows. So go ahead, that's row 1. I'm going to make 6 more rows and I will meet you back. Alright, once you've got your 7th row done, we're just going to fasten off. Chain 1. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same thing for the back legs, only we're just going to skip that 8th stitch, and then we're just going to do 7. So you skip this stitch, go into the next stitch, and you should end up with 7 single crochets. Again, we're just going to slip. We're going to go right back into that same stitch and single crochet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's our first row. We're going to make another 6, and I'm going to sew in my ends, and I will meet you back, and we'll go ahead and do the llama ears. All right, so I have sewn in my ends right here, and now we're going to do the ears. So I have another slip stitch or slip knot on my hook, and it says 3rd chain from the right. So here we are right here, 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it says in 2nd 2 single crochets. Okay, so in 2nd chain on your hook, we're going to single crochet 1, 2, and then it says 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and then it says 1 double crochet. So make sure you're going through both of these loops right here. Pull up our loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and then it says to skip a slip, skip 1 stitch and slip to join to your head in the next one. So that's 1 ear, and then slip stitch again, and I always try to slip stitch loosely because we have to come back around, and then repeat the picket or the picot or whatever. So we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the 2nd chain from your hook, we're going to make a single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to make a single crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet. In the next stitch, a half double crochet. And then in that last stitch, we're going to be sure we're going through both loops, not just one. You might have to turn it sideways. You keep only catching one. Okay, we're going to make a double crochet, and then we're going to skip a stitch, and now we're getting into like the the face area, and then we're going to slip to join. Keep getting this little hair on here, and then we're going to chain 1. Okay, I am going to sew in those ends, and I will meet you back so we can do the fur. All right, so I've sewn in my ends on my ears, and now what you want to do is turn your piece upside down where your chin area is, and that's where we're going to start doing the fur. And what we're going to do is we're going to do fur picots all the way down here. We're not going to do them in between the legs. Then we're going to start back up here. I'll stop here and show you how to make the tail real quick, and then we'll come back up here, come around here, and then I'll also show you you'll have to turn the ears this way and make the picots in front of the ears, and then we're going to stop right here. So it's kind of across from where we're starting, and we're going to end there. So grab your hook with the same skin color, and I don't know where I keep getting all this hair from. We're going to slip to join, and it's a very easy pattern for the picot. So we're going to slip to join. The picot we're going to use is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch in the same stitch. Oops. Slip stitch in the same stitch. Then we're going to skip a stitch. Then we're going to single crochet, chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch. And this is going to make like a little curls. Skip a stitch, single crochet, and now we're at the crease here. Chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch. It's going to be a little tedious. Maybe it's just me. Skip 1, single crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, skip 1, and then that's all you're doing. You're going to do that all the way down to the front bottom of the front legs, and I will meet you back. All right, so I have got down to the bottom of my front legs, and I'm just going to fasten off because we're not going to come across those legs because we still have to put the feet down, these feet, and then our leg division there. We're not going to do this as I mentioned. We're just going to jump right into here. Get my color here, and then just keep doing the picots. And you see how it comes out really cute, like a little furry, just like a llama. I've seen some pictures where they did like some shells and that, and I was like, nah, I want to do something different. So we're going to go in that last stitch of that last row, single crochet, or slip stitch, chain 1, 2, 3, and just pick up that pattern that we were doing for the fur. Skip a stitch, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, skip a stitch, single crochet. So keep going until you get to this corner, and then I will show you how to make the llama tail. All right, so we've made it here to the corner where we're going to make the tail. And the tail is really simple. It's just going to be some chains. It's not like the donkey tail that we had. All the tails that I seen were just like little stubs. So I thought maybe a chain of, let me see, did I even write this down? Chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just going to go right back into that same stitch and slip stitch. Okay, and now we're going to go into the next stitch, single crochet, and pick up with our fur, which is our picots. Chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 3, slip stitch in that same stitch, skip 1, and then just repeat. And I will meet you up here when you get to the ears, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, moving on. I just finished my corner picot. Now you might not have a picot in the corner, that's fine. I just want to give you the general idea on how to do these stitches. So I'm skipping that stitch. I'm going to this stitch right before the ear, do my picot, slip, and then we're just going to be working with the stitches in front of the ears. So if you bend the ears back like that, skip that one, and then I'm going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that same stitch, skip a stitch, and then I'm on the other side of the ear, 1, 2, 3, slip, and then I end up right here with the single crochet. Now if you don't end up in the same place as me, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's going to work out just fine. You know, we as crocheters, you know, we see different stitches and we work with different stitches, but it's not going to matter. It'll all work out. So I'm going to go ahead and sew in these ends, and we'll come back and do the feet. Alright, so we're ready to do the feet. So we're going to turn our llama upside down, get our black color, and I apologize, you're probably not going to be able to see this very good. But we do have to have the feet the black color. So we have 7 here. 7 single crochets for each of our front legs and our back legs. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. Let me turn off my fan because I'm thinking that that's probably going to not sound good. So we're going to slip stitch to join our new color, and then we're going to make 3 single crochets. Let's do that. Sorry about that. My yarn is splitting because it is scrap yarn. It's probably been around for a minute. So our first single crochet, 2, 3, and then we're going to slip stitch. Actually, we're not going to slip stitch. We're going to, you see this part, this stitch right here is where we're normally going to go into. We're going to go into that stitch underneath it and make a long slip stitch. Okay, and then that's 4, and then in the next 3 stitches we're going to make a single crochet. Okay, we're going to go back and do this again, single crochet in that same stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the next stitch and make it kind of loose because we got to come back around one more time for a total of 3 rows, and then 3 single crochets in a row. We'll get you back to your first stitch. Okay, last row, same stitch, 3 single crochets in a row, then slip stitch in the slip stitch, and then your last 3 single crochets in a row. So go ahead and do that for the back feet. Exactly what I've just done here. If you want to rewind the video, you can do that. But again, that's 3 rows. Just to review, you're going to make 3 single crochets, a long single crochet or slip stitch, and then 3 single crochets, turn your work, 3 single crochets, slip stitch, 3 single crochets, turn your work, and the same thing. For a total of 3 rows, you're going to repeat that for this one, and I will meet you back. Alright, the next thing you want to do is grab your large sewing needle, double strand it, okay, with our black, because we're going to do the line division in our legs. And what we're going to do is we're going to come out right here at the tip of your long, and these are long single crochets, not slip stitches. I am so sorry. I'm trying to catch myself throughout the video if I slip up, but also I'm also hoping that you guys will always look in the information box for clarification on stitches. This is a long single crochet in that first row. When you do this coming back, and then coming back the other 2 rows, because remember we did a total of 1, 2, 3. The other 2 will be 3 single crochets, a slip stitch, 3 single crochets. But that first one is a long single crochet, not slip stitch. Sorry about that. So now what you want to do is grab your needle and feed it through. Make sure it's, and what I like to do is hold, I like to make these ends as even as possible. And then what I'm going to do is weave like in and out a row up to, let's see, the second row on your body. Okay, so when you pull through, it's going to look like this. Okay, see that? So when you come back around, you're going to come out the bottom here, and we're going to weave in and cover those spaces so it'll look like one line, if that makes sense. And then come under this line and get as close to it as you can. There we go. And then it looks like a join line. Okay, it doesn't have to be like totally perfect, but then you have your line division. You turn your piece around and then just go ahead and tie knots, because this is going to be sewn onto a blanket. It's going to be a one-sided pattern or applique, so no one's going to be able to see the opposite side. Another thing too, be sure when you're sewing in your ends, you're sewing in on the opposite direction, not the face up but the face down, because a couple times I wasn't paying attention watching Netflix or something, and I ended up sewing this way in the front and not the back. So be sure you're sewing in those ends on the back. So go ahead and repeat this exact same thing on this one. I'll meet you back and we'll finish up the mouth and the eyes and move on to the saddle. Okay, now we are going to do the mouth part. I just want to show you something. Because I'm using scrap yarn, this is Karen, this off-white, and this is Red Heart, and it was the exact same pattern. Because Karen is so much thicker of a worsted weight yarn and the Red Heart isn't, look at the difference in the heads. The exact same pattern I did. Isn't that something? So I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm just going to go ahead and do the mouth like that. So grab your yarn, and now we're just going to do one strand. We're going to come down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It's going to be a little different look because of the yarn here. So I'm going to go up and like to the middle. Okay, just one strand. Come back up here, maybe a stitch in from the bottom and a stitch in. Meet it right in the middle, so we have our up and down line, and then out here right around the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to come in there. Okay, so now we have the mouth done. I'm going to turn around. I'm just going to keep recording so we can get the eye done. The sleeping eye. Be sure not to tie these too tight, because you don't want your work bunched up. And of course, and if you happen to do it, it's okay. You can go ahead and just cut it out. Okay, so the eye, I think I'm going to go in, let's see, I want it slanted and I want it sleeping. So maybe around the middle stitch of the left ear, maybe coming down here. I'm going to come back there. We're just going to do one strand. You can make these eyes as long as you want. So I'm going to hang on to that because I need a little bit of tail to tie. And then now I'm just going to come back here and do the lashes. And this lash, the top lash and the end lash you want out a little bit. I think I did 4 total. So I'm just going to come back over here, try to make them as even as possible. Two, three, and then this last one I'm going to make come out a little bit. Oh, these are pretty long lashes. But now I'm just going to secure it by making another top line on top of the lashes. And hopefully when I tighten these up, it'll come together. And it did. So we just turn it around and we tie the knot. And so the last thing we need to do, there's 2 more things left, is the saddle and then the rope that goes around. And those are optional. You can just leave it at the saddle if you want, but I am going to show you how to do that. What I'm talking about is this saddle and then this rope, and all I did was just tie little ties right here and fringed them there. But I'm going to go grab my yarn for my saddle and I will meet you back. Alright, so for our saddle, you want to grab the first color, and what we're going to do is a half a circle. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 colors. So grab whatever colors you want. I'm going to start with red. We're going to do a magic circle. You can do yours how you like. And we're going to chain 2, which don't count as a stitch in this saddle, and make 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you want to fast or close this a little bit, but not too much. Chain 1, fasten off. Grab our next color. So I'm going to grab green. Okay, I want all my tails going the same way. So we'll start back over here, and we're going to make 2, what did it say? 2 half double crochet, 12 half double crochet. So it's going to be 2 in each stitch. So in this first double crochet, not the chain 2, we're going to slip to join, and then we're going to yarn over and make 2 half double crochets in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chain 1, fasten off on that second color, and then my last color is going to be the same thing. We're just going to make 1 half double crochet in each of the stitches. So we're going to start right here at the very first half double crochet, slip to join, and in that same stitch make a half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, have your little saddle. And what we have to do now, since we're going to sew it on, we're going to have to make a single crochet row all the way around so we're able to sew that so it looks nice. And then for the rope that goes around the neck, pick one of these colors, whichever color you want, and you'll want to chain 21. Okay, so I'm going to sew these ends in, and I will get my skin color and I'll show you how to make a single crochet all the way around. Alright, so I've sewn in my ends and I still left this a little bit. I didn't tighten it because I didn't want it bunched up. I still want it to look like half a circle. So grab your skin color, a slip knot, and then now we're just going to make a single crochet all the way around. I like to just start right here at the end. Slip to join and then go right back in there and make a single crochet. So we know there's going to be 12 single crochets here because that's the same that we ended up with. Okay, and then for the sides, just do the best you can. I do one per row, single crochet, maybe 2, just so I know I have enough, so I know it's not going to be all bunched up. It looks like I'm doing 2 per row. And then right here in the middle, 1, slip to the other side, do my 2 for the red, 2 for the green, red row and green row, I mean. I don't want to leave a big gap. Two. And then your corners, of course, should always just have 2. So I'm just going to put another one right there in that first one. I'm going to leave enough yarn here to sew, so we can put that right on. Grab my needle, first pull this through, and I'll probably just work that in as I sew. Oh, that didn't work. And then decide where you're going to put it. I think that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to tie this so there's not that gap there. And then I'm going to just stuff that underneath, and then I'm going to put this upside down like this, and then just sew it in all the way around, going in and out of your single crochet stitches, both loops, because we want it secure, those V stitches. Oops. Forgot to turn that off. Hopefully you were able to hear me. And in and out. And you can look at it a couple times, make sure that it's where it needs to be. I don't want it touching my leg lines, that's for sure. So I'll pull it up a little bit. And in and out. When you're doing the in and out stitches, like in one stitch out the next, it's pretty secure. At least that's what I believe. You can go back around another time if you feel that you need to do that, but I'm not going to do that. I think it's pretty secure. Very, very similar to my giraffe, with a couple, you know, revisions. Kind of the same concept, you know, with just differences because they're different animals. One's a giraffe and one's a llama. I am working on a unicorn using this, which should be coming out very, very soon. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to look forward to that one. And now we're back at the beginning. Let me just make a couple more stitches. I'm good with that. I'm going to turn it around, go through some stitches, and just make knots just to secure the work. Making sure I'm not going all the way through to the front, but just the back. I'm like a 3-knot person. 3 knots are good for me in terms of staying in place. All right, so there is your saddle. Now what I have is my chain for my the rope, I guess we would call it. And this is when your pins can come in handy. Just depends how you want it, to go. Maybe you just want it to just go like that and not so much. I think I did a little above and beyond, but good with that. So what I usually do is just take some stick pins and then just kind of keep the rope in place there. And it just gives it a little bit more, you know, kind of character. I think what does it is the fringes at the end, which again are optional. You don't have to do those. But I left long enough tail right here so I could sew it in. And I hope that this pattern is not tedious for anybody. But, you know, sometimes, like I've said in my other videos, anything that's cute is kind of going to be tedious, and the more you make of these, the more easier it gets with any pattern. I truly believe that. And all I'm going to do is just do my in and out with the chain to secure this. And I can actually take this pin out because I'm holding it with my thumb. Let's see where we're at. I think these kind of patterns or appliques just can make like can just make a blanket, you know, into something like totally just cute and brings it alive and, you know, gives it character. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Again, these pins are optional. Twisted. And that's all you want to do is just go in and out of the chain as close as you can, because you know, if these blankets get washed, we don't want these extra character personality traits or costume or whatever. We don't want those coming undone. That would not be cool. Okay, see, I'm pretty cool with that. And like I said, you know, you can be totally creative with these. If you don't want the rope on there, that's fine too. If you do, that's fine. And then what I'll show you lastly before we wrap things up is how I did the fringes. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, get my fringes together, and show you how I did those. Alright, real quickly, I just have some strips here, and I just want to show you how I just added these little fringes here. And again, that's totally up to you. You can leave your llama like that if you want. But I just want to show you real quick. It doesn't matter where you put it. I'll just put one right here just to show you. Or just down here. All I did was bring it forward with a smaller hook, wrap it around and pull it through. Okay? And then I also tied a knot just to be sure that they didn't come out. And then with my needle, I worked through the strands. There's like 4 strands here. And if you go to the top, you can get, like if you work from the bottom up, sometimes that'll help you. Just like that. And that's how I did the fringes for these. I just used the same, well, some other colors, it looks like. So that's totally up to you. Like I said, this is like your project. You can go ahead and get as creative as you want to. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I apologize if I confused anybody. Please always check the information box for any clarifications. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share the video. Thumbs up wouldn't hurt. And together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.